First of all, I just want to thank Zonzo for giving me the chance to share my testimony and part of my life on this. I love what's going on with the Let's Be Honest movement, and it's really about people being honest. We're living in a weird time. We're living in a weird time where things are happening and people are confused. And it's crazy, really. So I'm really here today to just kind of give you an insight into my own personal story, into what I've experienced and what I've gone through. Let me reintroduce myself. My name is Jayson Gander. I grew up in South London. Now I know what you're thinking, South London. South London. Yeah, it is like that. It's very much like that. Not everywhere, but in most places. And there is a high chance that you are more likely to get into trouble than not getting into trouble, just based on the demographics, because there's a lot of concrete jungle. So there's a lot of people and they don't have enough space. When you don't have enough space and there's a lot of you, you're gonna clash. Someone's gonna step on someone's toes. But I'll be honest, how things are now to how things were when I was younger, there's a big change. A lot of people have got it a lot easier now. So I can see God is changing things, but there's a lot more still to be done. I remember growing up, things were a bit mad. I wasn't raised in the church, and I remember I had a friend of mine. His name's Jordan, and we lived in the same estate. And I remember one girl invited me to church, and she used to invite me to church numerous times. And I didn't go. I thought, that's long. What am I going to church for? That's long. I want to make dough. I want to link chicks. I want to just misbehave. So that's all good. But me, I'm only 16. I'm just trying to enjoy my life. When I'm about 40 is when I'll get serious with God. That was my perception. And this girl kept trying to invite me. And then she only got me because there was a barbecue and she tricked me. I didn't even know it was a church barbecue. She had told me it was a church barbecue. To be honest, I probably wouldn't have gone. She said, yeah, there's a barbecue. I thought, barbecue, come on. I went instantly. As I stepped into the garden thinking, I'm going to see juice on the table. I'm going to see girls everywhere. I walked in, I saw people wearing Jesus Love Me tops, and I heard gospel. I thought, this girl tricked me, but there was food, so it kept me there. So, because I ate the food, I felt like I was almost compelled to go to church on Sunday. I thought, I've just eaten £10 worth of food or whatnot. Let me go to church on a Sunday. Now, at the same time, I had a friend, and his name was Caleb, and he kept trying to preach to me about God. But like I said, I was going through my own struggles, wanting to make money. That was the thing for me, really wanting to make money and just chill with the guys and have fun. And he kept wanting to invite me to church. And then one day, he gave me this book by Mary Kay Baxter, and it was called Divine Revelation. And in this book, she's supposed to have gone to hell, gone to heaven, and come to earth, but she goes in the spirit form, and she's able to see things in the spirit. So for someone that doesn't really know these things, I won't lie, I read this book and my heart was beating. I was like, rah, like she said something like she went to clubs in the spirit and there was demons in clubs, and the demons would jump into people and make them do stuff, and then they would laugh about it. And I actually thought, like, wow, this is a bit scary, it's a bit deep. But I thought, you know what, I said, God, you know what, at the end of the day, you gave this woman an experience in it, so she's able to serve you. I ain't had no experience, I'm living where I'm living, so it is what it is. But if you're real, if you're out there, then show yourself to me. And I made that my prayer. Like, honestly, I said this prayer for about 7-8 months. Every night I would say this prayer, no matter what I'd done that night, whether it was do something I shouldn't, be with someone I shouldn't, misbehave, whatever took place during that day. I'd even come home drunk and say that prayer. I'll be sloppy, lying on the bed. I'll be like, God, if you're real, reveal yourself to me. That's how real it was. But I said that prayer as often as I could remember. I'd make sure I'd say, God, if you're real, reveal yourself to me. Now, God's mad. Well, he's not mad. God's deep, because it actually occurred 8 months later, 24th of December 2008, it was actually the 23rd. Now it was me, my boy Jordan, and his cousin Pharaoh. And we thought, okay, 23rd of December, let's go to a hotel, we'll party into the morning, which will make it Christmas Eve, mess about, go home, drink, chill off with the fam. The following day is Christmas. So I remember on the 23rd, we all had an agreement. Every guy holler at 3 chicks each. We all had to holler 3 girls because we're working on ratio. We said, look, you know how girls can be. I don't want to rely on my girls. You shouldn't rely on your girls. If we all holler 3 girls each, even if 5 of them cancel, we still got a good chance that someone will turn up. Yes, it's true. This is what guys do. We do it. I'm sorry, but we do. So all the girls are on it. So we thought, yeah, this is nice. We've got good numbers. This is looking really good. Now, the day it came for the girls to turn up, we called them a few hours before. Bear in mind, we had already booked a hotel. So we called them a few hours before, and all the girls were making excuses. Not all of them can come. All of them were giving reasons. So we're like, okay, cool. And then we thought, okay, Pharaoh, you try yours. Pharaoh tried his, and all 9 girls either didn't answer their phone, cancelled, couldn't make it, or gave a weird excuse. And we thought, how did we go from 9 to 0? How does that happen? But we thought, you know what? The hotel's been booked, so forget the drinks because there's no girls there. Let's just get some weed, go to this hotel, bun up, bust jokes, you know, because we're living at mum's at the time. So you couldn't all just go home and bun at the mum's house. So we thought, bun up, sleep at the hotel, and then whatever. Now, my friend came and he dropped us off some weed. And we were standing on the side of the road. And I remember we were smoking it. We were smoking and we were smoking. And I remember as I was smoking, the zoot wasn't going down. And we were smoking it and we were smoking it, but it wasn't going down. And I remember saying, I'm high. I said, Jordan, are you high? He said, bruv, I'm high. I said, Pharaoh, are you high? He said, bruv, I'm high. I said, why is this not going down? And I was like, you know what? Let's just tap it out and we'll finish it in the morning. And then as I hit the last puff, this cold air hit me in my chest. And out of nowhere, I remember saying, Jesus, please help me. Then in my head, I was like, why did I just say that? Why am I saying, Jesus, please help me? I didn't think much of it. We went into the hotel now. I was on this bed. I was here. Pharaoh was here. And Jordan was in the bed over there. Then all of a sudden, I was like, I feel like having sex. And then Pharaoh started, I was like, I feel like having sex. Then Pharaoh started explaining what I should do. He was like, yeah, open her up, do this, do that. And I started laughing. And I started laughing in this high-pitched voice. And he kept going on about how I should do it, what I should do, how I should do what I'm doing. And I was just laughing and laughing. And then Jordan was lying on the bed and his eyes were closed and his hands were on his chest. And then all of a sudden he was like, the devil wants you to. And I was like, whoa, Phil, stop. What did you just say? And he didn't answer. I said, bro, did you just hear what I heard? And we're calling Jordan. And it was like, he opened his eyes and he stared at me and he said, I want you to. And then I started getting serious. I was like, yo, Jordan, don't do none of that devil talk now. Don't do none of that. We're high, it's late, we're in this random hotel. Just don't do it. It's not needed. And I kept calling him. I was like, yo, Pharaoh, tell your cousin. And he wasn't answering. So I was getting a bit nervous and agitated at the same time. Then all of a sudden Jordan sat up and he had tears in his eyes. And then he looked at me and I was like, what is going on? And then he was like, yo, you man, God just gave me a revelation. He was like, when you guys were talking, it wasn't you guys, but it was spirits. And I could see the spirits and hear the spirits talking. And as I looked at you, I felt like I was a devil. And I just hated you. And I just wanted to destroy you. Now, as he said this, my heart started to beat. And I started to get nervous. And then I started to pray. I started praying. Because at the time, I was lying on the bed. And as he said this, I got so scared I went to lie back on the bed and just try and sleep. I didn't want to hear it. I just wanted to I just wanted to act like it wasn't happening. But as I closed my eyes, I was lying on the bed. It felt like I was sinking and sinking and sinking. And it felt like I was dropping down, down, down. And I remember thinking, oh my days, I'm about to die. I'm about to die. It's over. It's over. That's it. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. Oh my days, I'm dead. So that's what made me start praying. And I was praying and praying. And I started whispering in tongues. I started shouting in tongues and shouting in tongues. Then I jumped up and I started walking around the room in a circle. And I started going like that with my hands. And I started saying, the glory of the Lord is here. The glory of the Lord is here. Jayson, Jordan, Pharaoh, you must change your ways. You must change your ways, for the Lord shall soon return. For the return of the Lord is near. And then I started saying everything to Jordan that he was doing wrong and what he should cut out of his life. Then I started saying everything to Pharaoh, and I said the same thing to myself. And in my mind, I began to see flashes and images. I saw a tank. I saw a woman. I saw the child. Disappear. I heard the woman scream. And all these images, and there was just like this calendar just ticking down and ticking down and ticking down. And then I remember at the time I was thinking, yo, I'm speaking loud. And I was thinking, these people are going to hear us and they're going to want to kick us out. And then the voice came out and said, no man can hear these words, for you're in the spirit. And then I kept saying so many other things. And then the final thing I said is, your souls will now return to your mortal bodies. As it said this, I gasped and fell on the floor. And Jordan and Pharaoh both said that as I said this, it almost felt like something pressed their chest. Their eyes closed, and then they opened their eyes again, and they were back. And then everyone just sat down, looking at each other, shaking, like what the hell just happened? Then just started crying, man, just started crying, like, what the hell just happened? Like, we couldn't speak, no one knew what to say, like, what just happened? No one could speak. And then I remember lying on the bed. I went back into the bed, and as I was in the bed, it was like I was moving out of time and space, and I was just moving into this weird place. And I remember I opened my eyes, and where I was, it was grass, and I saw kids, and there were loads of kids sitting on the grass, and there was this big rock, and Jesus was sitting on the rock. And I remember I was standing there, and I remember I felt a bit ashamed, like I can't go near him, like I can't, like I'm doing some mad things, like I felt as if I couldn't. And then he called me and he told me to come. So I was like a little boy. I started playing my fingers and I was walking to him, all trying to act cute and humble, like butter wouldn't melt. And then I walked over to him, and this is the weirdest thing. For some weird reason, I love a Cockney accent. I don't know why, it's my thing. Just like that's end of story. But at the time, he was speaking to me in a Cockney accent, and I remember I was laughing because I was thinking, rah, he knows I like Cockney accents, and he's speaking to me in a Cockney accent. And I could feel myself laughing in the bed. And as we're there, we're speaking, we're talking. He told me a lot of things. He told me to stop chilling with certain friends. He said certain people I shouldn't chill with no more. And we spoke about a lot of things. Following morning, I woke up, and I remember we still didn't speak to each other. No one could talk. I mean, we even left the hotel, and we didn't even want to step on an ant on the floor. That's how holy we were feeling. Like, we're literally looking on the floor to see if we were about to step on an ant, just to make sure we didn't kill an ant. That's how spiritual we were at the time. And the weirdest thing is, in all our phones, we all had the same, there was a chapter and a time, and it was saved in all of our phones in drafts. And we all went into our phone in drafts. I think I went and I saw it first, and I said, Joe, you man, look at this. And they went into their phones, and we all had the same message at the same time. And then from that day, I realized God is real. Like, this thing is real. And the thing is, like I said, I'm not someone that was raised in a church and like it was whipped into me. It wasn't. And I went, but it was like if I wanted to go after a certain point. And for that to happen, it made me realize, especially what I was living my life as at the time, it made me realize, like, God is real. There's no argument. Like, it happened. And this is the reason I'm giving my testimony, for people to see I have no reason to lie. I'm not being paid for this. I'm not doing this for anything on the sly. I'm just telling you because it's the truth. It's the realness. And I've tried to be as real as possible to let you know what's going on. And then after that, obviously I was filled with the Spirit on a different energy. I went back to my college, and things started to happen, like, in my college. But even that, I won't really go into detail, because I know Zonzo's got that planned for another day for us to really go into detail on what happened in the college. But that energy I decided, if I've got this energy, then, and I know the truth, then the whole world needs to know the truth. Because when I was living wild, I wanted everyone else to join in my wildness. Like, let's do it together. So if I find this in the piece, I wanted everyone else to find it as well. It's just how it goes. And I thought that's another reason God made me feel it, because he knows how I am. Anything I'm doing and I'm passionate about, I'm going to say it in a way that I create that same fire and desire in other people to want to do the same thing.